Hi, Cancer. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for July of 2020. Venus has gone direct, Mercury is retrograde, and Mars is up to stuff as usual. And then there's also a lunar eclipse this month in this season's prolonged eclipse season, and another moon as well. But let's start with Julia talking about Mercury, Venus, and Mars.
All right. Well, hey, Cancer. We'll start with Mercury because Mercury begins this month retrograde. It was retrograde last month, too. And all of this is happening in your first house of self. So Mercury is the planet of communication. And in your first house of self, this means that during this period, you can just feel like people are misunderstanding you left and right, even though you're trying to express yourself as best you can. The good news is that on July 12th, Mercury is going to go direct and things should get a lot smoother in terms of communicating with others. The next planet I want to talk about is Venus, and she is now direct. She was retrograde for a while back then, but she's now direct all month in the sign of Gemini, which correlates with your 12th house. The 12th house is a house of seclusion, and Venus is where we have pleasure. It's also a relationship planet too, so it could mean that you're a lot less social during this period. You might just want to spend more time secluded with your loved one than just kind of out in the world or socializing with others. The 12th house is a house of sacrifice, so you might find yourself making sacrifices also for your partner too during this transit. And then Mars, the planet of activity, is in your 10th house of career all month. This means that you could be just super motivated to get a lot of things done in your career, whether that's working on your current career or maybe writing a resume for your next job. The 10th house is also the house of authority figures. Mars tends to bring a little bit of conflict wherever he goes, so just watch out for batting heads with any authority figures in your life, whether they're parents, teachers, bosses, cops, etc.
Okay, we've got two moons going on this month. The first one is an eclipse, and last month, June, we had two eclipses. So this time we've got like three eclipses in a row, which doesn't happen all that often, and it's pretty intense because,
Oy.
even just one eclipse is pretty intense. This one is happening on the 4th of July. I want to show it to you. And that means that it's also happening on our nation's birthday. And because we're having an intense eclipse on our nation's birthday, I just want to put out a caution about going to 4th of July events because there may be a lot of emotions stirred up. And, well, that's kind of been how it is lately in this country, right? So for you, this falls across the axis of your 1st and 7th houses. And we did make a video about this eclipse, and I recommend that you go watch it. It's in our July 2020 news playlist, and I'm calling it We Are All Patriots because I think there's going to be a lot of feeling around patriotism. And you being a Cancer, you may have been born near our nation's birthday, and you may have a very strong feeling for your homeland. And so this eclipse may really feel like it hits you in a very personal way, right at the roots. It's also, because it is a lunar eclipse, it will involve the moon in Capricorn in your 7th house of relationships. So there may be, some tugs of war between you and partners during this eclipse. So try not to get too emotional and try to, bring the temperature down. Now, then there's also a new moon in Cancer coming later in the month on July 20th, and that one's also happening in your 1st house. So both of the moons may feel pretty personal for you. The second one is going to be a lot less intense because it's just a new moon. It's not an eclipse. And it may be emotional simply because it's in Cancer, but not like with the big overblown emotions and the having to look at our own shadows that happens during an eclipse. So this second new moon is really an opportunity to plant seeds of new beginnings and to ask yourself, well, who do I want to be in my upcoming new year? Because if you are a sun in Cancer, then of course it's birthday time. And that means also it's a good time for a solar return birthday reading to find out what are the themes of your upcoming year. If you were born near the eclipse, then that intensity may carry forward into your whole year. It might be good to know about that. If you were born near the new moon, towards the end of the sign Cancer, around July 20th, then you may feel like this is a year that is a turning point in the sense of seeding new beginnings for you for the whole year to come. And if you want that reading, you can always find us, Jamie and Julia, on pandoraastrology.com/services. I think that's what we have for you today, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. You can find our horoscope videos on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, always arranged into playlists by month, and you can find them on our website, pandoraastrology.com/horoscope. And we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.